Hey
My name,
there.
hey, my name is Courtney Webb. I am the Strange,
And I'm Michael Zinn, and I am the wonderful.
and we are the Strange and Wonderful. Welcome to the show. I hope is this your first time here? Welcome. Hopefully, you saw the last episode with Rachel and Raven.
That was awesome. That was such a great conversation.
Oh
So much
yeah,
fun. Thank you for
I,
introducing me.
you're welcome.
Very cool. Well, yes, you guys are here. Thanks for coming to the Strange and Wonderful, the place where we love to talk to strange and wonderful people about why they're strange and wonderful, and just spread the strangeness and the wonderfulness. So I did want to tell the story. I forgot to tell the story last week. I did talk about how, Courtney, you were one of the viewers for the live stream of consciousness.
Yes, I was.
This is funny. It almost looks like I have this color on my head there.
Oh,
Uh,
you got a little windmill going on top of your head.
but you came across my I guess you knew who Jesse was, but you
Yeah.
came into my life when you sent us this lovely picture to the live stream of consciousness, which was a little drawing that you had done.
Yes, I remember that. I was drawing that while I listened to a live stream I was listening to.
It was my first official piece of fan art ever, so thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And that's and that's what made us friends. Uh,
Yeah.
and then through the show, Courtney got inspired to do her own thing, and I'm so proud to be helping her and excited about the show. She's drawing all of the graphics and doing a lot of the work, booking all of the guests. So thank you, Courtney, for making my world a little more strange and wonderful than it was.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. And it's interesting, this week's guest that you have. I was trying to do a little research. I had such a busy week. I
Yeah.
did some good research, and I had a strange feeling about this person when you told me what they did and all of the films that they're in, and it turned out to be right. And we'll talk about that. But why don't you introduce our guest?
Okay, I'll guess you. His name is Doug Epps. He's been in the wonderful low-budget horror films known as Clownado, Bonehill Road. I keep mispronouncing that name. Um, he's going to be in the fourth installment of Joe Castro's Terror Tunes as the wonderful Dr. Carnage. And his news film that's coming out soon is called Final Call, which I'm so excited to see because he actually stars in it.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
So he's made his way up through the ranks of the
Yeah.
independent horror films, and now he's actually a leading man. That's
Yeah, and
freaking
horror films.
awesome.
I'm so proud of him.
That's so awesome. Well, awesome. Welcome to the strange and wonderful world of strange and wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Doug Epps.
Hi,
How you
everyone.
doing?
Hi.
Hey, I want to congratulate you two on this new show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks
Very
for
awesome
coming.
for you both. Courtney,
Yeah.
go live those dreams, girl.
I will. Definitely with my antlers and all.
I love the antlers.
Oh, thank you.
I miss your star. It's not going anymore, Michael.
Oh yeah, because
The
well, now
windmill.
it's three people. We're filling up the screen a little bit differently, but that was a weird coincidence. I didn't notice that before until just today. Very cool. So Doug, very very cool. I am actually also involved in production and a little bit of the world of independent film and music video and all of these things. So when I started to research all of these titles that Courtney gave me, what a great body of work you have. You must be pretty proud. It's really cool to do that kind of stuff, right?
It's certainly been interesting. It's been fun. It's super fun. I mean,
Totally.
yeah.
What
keeps
about,
me coming back.
yeah, what I love about the world of independent movies, not just horror, but independent movies, is they're usually not a big budget, so you're usually not getting paid a lot. So the motivation to be there is more from inside. I think people
What
are there.
budget?
Yeah, exactly. People are there because they want to be there and they want to make something, and that really brings a great energy to the whole independent film genre, I think.
And that's what
Right.
that's what I love about independent films because you got more freedom. You can do pretty much anything with them.
Oh,
And
God,
that
you should see
just
Dreaming
love it.
Purple Neon.
Oh, I still need to see
In
that
Dreaming
movie.
Purple Neon, they did do anything and everything. That's the movie where Sheila and I got our start. We just we asked Todd if we could come to the set and see what it was like to film a movie, because I was getting ready to try and film a movie. It would have been awful. It would have been horrible. I didn't know anything about movies. And I thought, okay, so I'm going to come, I'll see this director in action, and I'll get a feel for it. And then I'm going to go out and film my movie. And I got there and I saw all the fires that he had to put out and all the different hats that he had to wear. And he's like, hey, do you want to be in my movie? I'm like, yes, I would love to be in your movie. And he had Sheila and I in there and me murdering her. And that's where we got our start, was I was going to make a movie, and he's like, hey, come be part of this movie. And I wasn't ready to make a movie. I'm still not ready to make a movie. And I'm having a great time. It's just a fantastic time playing all these different characters and being in other people's movies. And it's a lot less stressful for me. I get the fun part.
Yeah, that definitely is a lot less pressure, but I'm sure there's still pressure about it. It's definitely more the fun part. I'm envious of the actors sometimes when I'm working on set, because I'm there working and they're there playing.
Yeah. Most of the time the actors are just props, pretty much. We're just human props.
So that's a great way you got to start. It's funny because I actually, like I said, I'm in production. I'm usually behind the camera on set, some sort of an assistant, or I operate the camera as well. And I was on a set for a movie called Charlie Mantle, Fred Carpenter, Long Island director, and all of a sudden they needed a body to do one of the scenes, right? And it just so happened to be these two guys raping a girl, and Charlie Mantle was the cop, and he comes and he kills them. So I was one of the rapists. So I got to be in a movie. My movie debut was my title was Attacker Number 2. So I'm very proud of that foray into acting.
If I would get a shirt that said Attacker Number 2. Boom.
That is such a great idea. Oh my God. That's awesome.
Hey, did you see that movie where I was Attacker Number 2?
You know what? I had the joke going like, yeah, this would be great to bring a date. Hey, I'm in this movie. Then,
oh my God, yeah, that's a great date movie.
Oh my God. So I want to focus on you a little bit, because I was pretty impressed. I mean, I know the world of independent film, and I know that there is the ability to kind of become networked with the different people. So who's the director of the Purple Neon movie?
Oh, that's Todd Sheets.
Todd Sheets.
He's a director here in Kansas City. He's been directing films forever. How many years?
Well, since the 80s.
Wow.
Since the 80s, since the days of VHS.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Awesome. Very cool. So I always kind of liken the genre, or maybe not liken the genre, but embody the genre. I talk about Trauma, because I feel like Trauma is like in that range of independent films, and Lloyd Kaufman kind of just doing what he wants to do and making these outrageous films. But what I thought when I was looking at your catalog, I'm like, I wonder if this guy has ever acted in a James Balsamo film. And sure enough,
Kind of.
Oh, kind of. Okay. See, that was the one thing. I did get to research your catalog, but I didn't get to watch all of them. So I was going to be able to talk to you about that. But why don't you start with that story?
Hollywood Werewolf. Well, that's just a fun story. I mean, okay, so when James Balsamo was making that movie, he did this little Kickstarter for it, or an Indiegogo for it, and on one of the perks was you could be in his movie, and you would get a T-shirt, and you would get a credit in the movie for $20. I mean,
that's not bad.
What a deal!
That's a deal.
I mean, he's giving it to you.
That's
so
amazing.
I'm like, and it was a cool shirt. It's got this werewolf. He's riding around in a convertible with the Hollywood behind him. I'm like, I love it. And I was just in a werewolf movie, so I had to support my brothers, my brother in the genre's werewolf movie. So absolutely, we put in our $20 to get our. So all it is, I guess, is our photo is used in a book when they're turning through the book. But because of that movie, we're in a movie with Andy Dick. So boom! How fun is that?
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I did. Let me see if I could grab this here. did grab some stuff to share. So there we go.
Oh
There's the
wow.
cover of Hollywood.
That's the shirt. Except it was in black and white.
Very cool.
Nice.
Wouldn't you
Very
pay $20 to get that shirt?
Yes.
That's awesome, man.
I would.
That's so, and like you said, that just makes for such a great story. You know, I was in a movie. Yeah, I donated $20 to the Indiegogo film, and now I'm in the credits with Andy Dick.
Right? How exciting is that?
It's so great. Actually, that movie I was talking about, Jackie Martling was in that. I don't know if you know who he is, Jackie the Joke Man, who's somebody who a comedian I always admired from locally on Long Island. But anyway, so I want to go through these, and I want you to give me a little story from each one. I love your energy, by the way, and your character of Doug Epps. So I want you to just
thank you.
I want you to just tell me a little bit about each one of these wonderful
That's the
movies.
one I want to talk about.
Oh my God. Well, I've got stories about that one.
Yeah.
That one was so exciting. Okay, so I played a creeper guy in that one. And Todd made me a creeper in that one because I was a creeper and I was the creepy guy in Bone Hill Road, and he just knew that people would expect me to be the creeper guy in this. And in this one, the creeper guy turns out to be the girl who he's creeping on. He turns out to be her father, and he's just trying to reconnect with her. So instead of being, so you're supposed to hate him at first, and then you're supposed to be like, oh, he was sort of a nice scumbag, but can I cuss on here?
Though. Yeah, you're good. This is
Fuck Nick. I mean, so that's what I was trying to get everyone to say in the movie theaters, and they did. Everyone responded when I went to the Clownado premiere. Every time Nick came on the screen, boo, fuck Nick. I'm like, yes, I did my job.
Fuck Nick.
Fuck Nick.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, that one was really fun, and I got to drop the line from The Thing in that. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I love that line in The Thing, and I got to drop it in that movie Clownado. And I got to get attacked by the killer boobies.
Yeah,
and that was
that
a very The Thing is one of my favorite horror movies. So to be attacked by these boobies that were like something from The Thing was really, really fun.
That's awesome.
And then I love dying in movies. And yes. Todd knows this. So Todd always comes up with creative ways for me to die.
Oh my God, yes.
So in this one, my head gets ripped off by this giant clown. And Nick basically sacrifices himself for nothing. I mean, he doesn't slow down the clowns at all. He tries to do this noble deed, and it just falls flat because the clowns are right back on the people, and it didn't need Nick sacrificed himself for no reason.
Yeah.
But it was a fun death, and I got my head ripped off.
That's so great. And that's great. And you started your reputation as the guy who likes to get killed in films.
I mean, it's fun to watch yourself die on film in weird ways. Like, how many people get to see themselves get killed by a werewolf?
It's awesome.
I did.
So ever since you were like a child, was this like a childhood dream to be like an actor or anything, or was it just like a hobby?
Well, it was accident. It was accidental because I didn't even cast myself in my own script when I was getting ready to do that movie. I didn't even cast myself in that. I never really imagined myself as an actor. Yeah, that was all Todd and Amanda that imagined me as an actor and threw me in front of the camera and let me have a grand old time. And the first movie that Todd really gave me my big role in Bone Hill Road, he calls me up one day and says, "Buddy, are you sitting down?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, good. I just wanted to let you know Linnea Quigley's going to be in this movie." So what? Yeah, so we're going to redo some stuff, and you're going to have some scenes with Linnea Quigley, and you're going to kill her. Wait, what? And okay, so for context, I'm sure many boys, many people my age, when we were boys, had a pretty good crush on Linnea Quigley because of Return of the Living Dead. And I'm no different. She was like, she was like my dream girl for a while, and I actually based my perfect woman around her. So much so
Okay.
that one of my girlfriends just shaved her head one day, just out of the blue. It's like, because I had this fixation for Linnea Quigley. And then I got to meet her and kill her. So exciting. And I've worked with her 3 times now. How fun
Oh,
is
wow.
that?
That's amazing.
I
so cool.
know.
That's so cool. Listen, you know what? I'm a true believer in, when you kind of just let go and go with the flow. The universe gives you what you're supposed to be getting. You know what I
It
mean?
really does, because every time I start getting bored with the universe and thinking that there's got to be more. This can't be all there is. This has got to be some kind of a put on. Am I being punked? Am I being punked? Something always happens. It's always exciting. Some new thing always happens. Some new road opens up. For years I was a martial artist. Now I'm an actor. Who knew?
That's cool. That's cool. So you were a professional martial artist?
Oh yeah, I taught at the YMCA for 10 years.
Wow.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, it makes you hate the Karate Kid just a little bit, even though, check out my shirt. Ooh.
Ooh,
This is
Cobra.
Cobra Kai. Screw you, Daniel.
Cobra.
And why do I say screw you, Daniel? Because he was at, remember in Karate Kid 1 where he's like, I don't want to take YMCA karate. Screw you, Daniel. I'll kick your ass.
That's hysterical. You know what? The Karate Kid, it certainly has its own merit. I call it, it's like fast food with extra cheese.
It certainly has built up some steam here in the recent years.
Yeah. I mean, I do like what they did with it, on Netflix or whatever it was on. I like the way they just kind of changed the format into episodic and kind of made it more comedic, really, than it was. I don't think it was that comedic when it was a movie.
I like how they didn't forget all the people who made the Karate Kid great, and how they brought how they've been bringing all those people back and letting them shine again. Even though some of these guys are like 40, 50, 60, heck, one even died during the filming of the show. And, he got to come in and he got to give that last hurrah. And
yeah, totally. So, I give it some good credit. So let's go back to talking about you. Courtney, did you prepare some questions? I don't want to steal
I have.
the thunder. So why don't you give us the question? I'll bring up the next movie after.
Okay, you want me to do the question?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, what is strange and wonderful about yourself? I ask this question to every guest on the show.
Gosh. What would you say?
What's strange and wonderful about you? Well, the wonderful is just about everything.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
about everything about you is wonderful. What's strange about you is the way that you can handle all the weirdness thrown your way, all the weirdness that you're expected to deal with. You have no problem whatsoever handling it. And I know a lot of people under certain circumstances would break having to deal with some of the stuff that you deal with, but you handle it very well. And you're amazing at acting.
Oh,
you are amazing at just about everything you do.
Aw.
I'm biased.
Spoken like a true fan, but
I'm wonderfully weird. Is to answer from my perspective. God knows God broke the mold when He made me.
That's one of the things that attracted me to him is his weirdness.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm pretty empathic. I work on energy and vibe, and I don't even have to be in the same room as you to feel your energy. And even without seeing your movies, you know what I mean. I feel like you're doing a good job. You've definitely got a presence. So there you go. And
thank you.
It's definitely strange and wonderful. So let's go back to these movie posters here. What do we got here?
That's the one I want to see.
That is one of the most batshit crazy movies that I've ever seen. I love that movie. Even if I wasn't in that movie, I would love that movie because of the amount of nudity and gore that is just flowing through that movie. And there's another cut out there somewhere, I think it's called a driving cut or something like that, with even more gore and even more nudity.
Ooh.
Really? And so this movie is out. I thought I heard you saying earlier that it wasn't out yet. So
No, that's
maybe
the first. That was the first movie that I was
Oh,
filmed
okay.
in.
Oh, this is the one you're talking about with Todd Sheets. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Your
That
accidental-
movie, they just kept saying, "Hey, how can we make this movie crazy?" Well, can we make it crazier? And they just kept making it crazier and crazier and crazier. And
Did you know there was going to be a lot of nudity and gore when you asked to come down to the set?
the very first night that we got down to that we came down to the set, I know we didn't know there was going to be a lot of nudity and gore, but the very first night that we get there, Dylan Fawn Harvey, it's like 30 degrees outside.
She's naked.
She's naked and covered in blood with horns coming out of her boobies. I mean, I think it might be there on the pictures. And it's like 30 degrees, and she's just standing there in the buff. She's she has her underwear on, but the rest of her is bare to the 30 degrees. I'm like, that girl is a fucking trooper. She's out there in 30-degree weather, covered in blood, doing this. Holy sh! And that was my first impression of walking into a movie set. Was her? It was her being born. It was her scene in that movie. Her demonic self coming out of this young girl and being born in blood. It was pretty impressive.
Wow.
And it's that's a true testament, I think, to the genre and that aspect of it is, even with low budgets and / no budgets, the actors and the people anybody who's involved is just so connected to, I guess, the artistic vision that they're just like, whatever I got to do, you know what I mean? And I've seen that so many times, and I do respect it. I know that the genre doesn't get a lot of respect sometimes just because it's not Hollywood, and a lot of people don't understand. I don't think they understand the amount of grains of salt you're supposed to take it with.
There are some great people, but we have worked with some flaky people.
Oh
yeah, of course.
In Zombie Rampage 2, and I don't think you would be able to tell this, but in Zombie Rampage 2, one of the leads quit during his big ending scene, and two of the leads quit. So one of they both had to be murdered because they didn't show up to the big night of filming, and it was like the last night that we had. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and these were leads, and Todd Sheets was so brilliant. He was able to work around it and murder their non-showing up asses. One girl didn't show up because a concert was more important, so Sheila got to play. She got to play her. She got to play a teenager.
Yeah.
So they used a body double and killed him from behind or something, right?
Yes. Yeah. They just killed the girl outright, and Sheila just kind of kept her head down.
Yeah, I was tied to a chair, and they had me put my hair around my face.
And the other guy, Todd, did some special effects wizardry and blew up his fucking head.
Oh,
Wow.
Just like, it was out of the blue because hell, we wasn't expecting him not to be there. So it was just a moment that was out of the blue. Boom, he was dead. And then they had to work around it. So yeah, even leads flake out. Well, as a matter of fact, when I got the part of Final Caller, we'd already filmed 4 or 5 days of that one when the lead dropped out of that one. And at that time, I had to learn 17 pages of dialogue in 4 days.
So you took over the lead role?
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd sent me a message and said that there was no one else he trusted at this point after what just happened. Right. And it's not the first time that we've had people flake out on us. So Todd asked if I thought I could do it. I lied and said yes. And then I looked at the dialogue and saw that it was 17 pages, and I just really put my nose into it.
Right. So did they rewrite and change your character, or did you step into the new character?
Yeah, I was already a different character. The part played by Alex, who has a pretty grisly death that I'm sort of glad I avoided that one. You've seen the pictures, Courtney. I'm not going to spoil it because the movie's not quite out yet. But he had a pretty grisly death that I'm kind of glad I avoided by getting this promotion. So I am kind of glad the lead dropped out for more reasons than just being the lead. Like, well, I avoided that death. Yes.
Cool.
I saw that being filmed. I am so glad it wasn't me.
And I don't even want you to spoil it. Now I gotta wait for it to come out. I want to know what it was, but I won't make you spoil it.
Same.
So what do you got a question, Courtney?
Yeah, I got like a whole list of questions.
Uh-oh.
What is your favorite film or films you have acted in?
Oh, well, Terror Tunes is obviously way up there because
I know.
playing
I'm so excited
playing
for
Dr.
that.
Carnage is playing a horror icon. I mean, that guy's been around for over 20 years, so it's really exciting to get to step into his shoes. Bone Hill Road is another one of my favorite roles because that was the first role that I got to work with Linnea Quigley. I also got to work with her again in Terror Tunes 4. So once again, another reason for that one to be exciting.
Nice.
And
Nice,
and also I worked with Linnea again in Clownado. But Bone Hill Road was the first time that I got to take the lead role, the heroic role of Cohen. Some people would call him a psychopathic, murdering son of a bitch, maniac, something like that, something along those lines. But they didn't know the true hero that really shined inside that guy, who really didn't get to show.
I mean,
You know.
Well, spoil, folks. He did sacrifice himself to the werewolves.
Exactly. See, she gets it. He sacrificed himself to the werewolves so his new friends could survive. So
I know. I get a feeling that he can come in the sequel as a werewolf.
what's that?
I get a feeling he's going to come back into a sequel if it ever gets made as a werewolf.
That would be really fun, really exciting. That hasn't ever been in the cards. But it could, with movies, you never know what's going to happen. So,
right. You mentioned a lot of things that I think a lot of people who don't experience it don't realize. Like as far as how many moving parts there are to a movie. All of the people involved. As far as cast and crew and all of that. So when you're talking about, somebody flaking out at the end of a production, and okay, I can understand maybe they weren't getting paid a lot or anything at all, but you've put so much time and energy into something, and then to just let down all of those other people and just kind of walk away. I mean, that's kind of a shame people do that, but thankfully, there are people like you who see it all the way through, and then we get to see these wonderful films. So I'm curious about the different directors that you work with and the different, like I guess you would say, levels of production. Is it always no to low budget? Have you ever worked on a film that had a little bit more of a budget?
The biggest budget I've worked with so far has been Terror Tunes 4. And really,
oh wow, I'm surprised. But then again, the Indiegogo had reached their goal with my help, of course.
that one did pretty well. Clownado only had a $17,000 budget, and when that one was being made, only $7,000 of that was available to Todd through most of the filming. The other $10,000 came pretty much after Todd had told everyone, hey, we've got a product, and everyone started believing that, hey, we'll actually get something if we put in with this Indiegogo. So Todd had $7,000 to work with initially, and then that other money came in, and he was able to add some more polish to everything, and so that he did that with $17,000 or $7,000 initially is just amazing. Right. Bone Hill Road, I believe, had a $13,000 to $15,000 budget somewhere in there. Excuse me. And that movie, he flew in Linnea Quigley, Gary Warner Kent, and David. Oh, someone whose
McMahon
name still escapes me.
David McMahon.
Right.
His name still escapes me. But Gary Werner Kent was amazing to work with. Do you know who that guy is?
No, who
No,
is
I
that?
do not.
Okay, so have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Okay, he is the Brad Pitt character is modeled after Gary Werner Kent.
Shit. Yeah, now I know.
okay,
Now I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So on set, we had this old bird telling us all these amazing stories about the Manson family and how he met them. And then, you get to see it play out on TV. And we actually did this thing. We actually tried to get him in the movie. And it's a damn shame that he wasn't put in the movie because it is his life that they're talking about.
Right.
And I actually asked him, did you really get in a fight with Bruce Lee? And he said, I gave him a few lumps. It's like, oh my God, I love this old bird.
That's so funny. That's great.
Because, in the movie, he like throws Bruce Lee against the door of a car and puts a big dent in it, and everyone makes this big to-do about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So
So I got,
yeah,
it's very exciting, someone to work with.
Yeah. So you were talking. I want to go back to Clownado for a second. You were talking about that. I'm imagining because I didn't get to watch the whole thing of some of these
I've
movies.
seen it.
I watched the trailers and I thought there was a decent amount of production value. Post production CGI and stuff. It looked like. So yeah, I mean, I guess I can imagine once you have some of the primary stuff shot and you can even show it, then you can say, hey, if I got another 10 grand, I can add these CGI effects and I can finish this thing. And so good for him. He did it. I mean,
That movie is another movie where I'm not even gonna lie. Making movies is a cursed endeavor, and I'm sure you probably know that. Clownado was no different. The midget that we had, or midget, dwarf, the dwarf that we had. I'm
Little
sorry
person.
to all
Hello, person.
anyone I might have offended.
I don't know if that falls under pronouns. Maybe it does, but anyway.
Yeah, dwarf is apparently anyway. So the dwarf that we worked with initially wasn't the dwarf that we were supposed to be. He was supposed to be a wrestler. So he was this fit little dude and he was going to be able to crawl through this stuff. But at the very last minute, he calls out and no shows on us because he's doing a wrestling show. He's got his thing going, but he could have let us know ahead of time. He knew about this scheduling conflict. He could have let us know, and he didn't. So that was something else Todd had to work with. So at the very last minute, Todd gets another dwarf to come in and fill the role. Who's
He can't walk.
Yeah, he couldn't walk. He's a delightful person. But his body wasn't physically the most healthy, so Todd had to change a lot of the movie at that point to cater to that. And there was all sorts of the special effects people. There were times Todd was literally on set building a special effect right there to film in 2 minutes, because sometimes the special effects people.
They were no show.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of special effects in that movie for everyone to deal with.
Right.
And sometimes they just bled over, and Todd would have to. But he's the master of gore. He's a master of gore. So if anyone should be doing it, he's the guy.
Right.
He had he picked up the moniker the Prince of Gore from somewhere many years ago, and it's stuck all these years, and he's lived up to it, I think.
Well, I think again with the independent genre, at least from what I've seen, it's like you said, people are wearing a lot of hats. You know what I mean? Everybody's pitching in as much as they can, and especially the directors who have the vision. You know what I mean? A lot of times they have friends who are special effects artists, so they are familiar with, the process and kind of some of the tricks. And yeah, man, I've seen that. They're putting together last minute. They're like on set, like, how can we make this happen? It hasn't even been figured out yet, and they have to figure it out on set. Blowing up watermelons and things like that.
Got to get that canned cherry pie filling.
Yeah, exactly. So much fun. Very cool. All right, so let's continue taking a look at some of your body of work here. That's only slide 3. Here's one
Zombie
you were talking
Rampage
about,
2.
Zombie Rampage. Another Todd Sheets.
That is a crazy movie. I mean, it's just crazy fun writing. I would recommend that movie to anyone, especially when you know about the 2 leads dropping out. It's pretty amazing that there's even a movie at all in there, and the fact that it's actually a good fun movie. It just shows how amazing the director is.
So this is Zombie Rampage 2. I'm imagining there's a Zombie Rampage 1. Give us a quick synopsis of the Zombie Rampage franchise.
Okay, so Zombie Rampage started over 20 years ago, and Zombie Rampage 2 was supposed to be filmed after that. Now this is fun because parts of Zombie Rampage that was filmed 20 years ago was added to this film that we filmed 4 years ago. And the way that they did it was they used the same camera equipment that Todd used way back then to film this movie. So that way that the film would match up between now and 20 years ago. So some of the movie from Zombie Rampage 2 is from 20 years ago, and some of it is from now today. And Todd mashed that all together, and yeah.
Wow.
Like something like how the new Halloween movies are doing. Because that's kind of remind me what they're doing. Like especially the second one, Halloween Kills, how they matched like the very first film together with the actors from the new film.
Oh, you're gonna sidetrack me because I love those Halloween. I love the new Halloween movies. Oh, they get so.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just gonna say they get so much hate.
Oh yeah, they do. But
I think they're fine. I think people who hate on those movies are just putting way too much thought process into it.
Exactly.
On, original Halloween. I mean, that's like one of the genre, most well-known.
And with me, when it comes to like the different, and with me when it comes to different sequels and remakes, I see it as an alternative universe. It's just a different timeline, a different universe.
Yep.
Right.
Don't get your panties in a wad because it's not something that you don't want.
The only Halloween that I'm mad at that I don't like is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and that's because he messed that one up on purpose. He literally hated that movie so much he did that on purpose. So if he hated it, I'm gonna hate it.
I could see it because the story kind of went bam downhill and went super psychotic, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, well, the studio forced him into making that one, and he didn't want to make it, so he made crap.
Yeah. And then they never hire him again.
I totally forgot. I got so interested once you popped on the screen, and I was like, "Oh, I want to talk to this guy." And I had been looking at your movie posters. I totally forgot to introduce or to pay attention to the studio audience. And I see my buddy Steve, who is actually a filmmaker, is watching, and he's saying, "Yo," he's saying, "Now you're talking about it."
Hey, Steve.
I don't remember.
Hey, Steve.
I don't remember what we were talking about. He gave me a link to the movie, the Charlie Mantle film. I don't even want to go there. But he definitely Steve knows once you start, you can't stop making films. He knows.
No, you can't.
It's an addictive thing. But we do have a question from Lorraine.
Oh yeah.
Saying, what style did you study? I don't know what she means exactly because we haven't talked about you studying anything
like acting studying.
But maybe acting. What style did you do? Martial arts?
Talking about that, yeah.
Shotokan, a little bit of Kobu-jitsu, a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a little bit of Aikido, and a little bit of Dim-mak. And that about rounds it out. I studied a little bit of everything. If I wanted to kill you, if I was going to kill you, I wanted to make sure I could do it efficiently.
So you're an efficient, creepy guy who likes to die in movies.
Yeah. Well, yes, that sums it up pretty much.
Cool. Steve,
I try not to be too creepy, but it just comes out anyway.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Sometimes I just to me, people just like, oh, you're not creepy at all. Like, have you seen the things I'm into?
I meant that as a total compliment. I hope you knew where that was coming from.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
good.
So Steve is asking if you know Tom Renner. Tom Renner is somebody who I know. He's a martial arts sensei, but he also does a lot of. He actually, I believe, was a consultant for Karate Kid. He does a lot of movie consulting as far as the as far as movies go, independent films. As far as martial arts go, he does that stuff. So Tom Renner. No, don't know him.
No,
No.
I wish I did.
Okay.
Tom, if you're out there,
May I ask some questions?
yes.
So like a student. Hello.
Steve
Yes.
gave me a link to my scene, but this show is not about me. Steve, I appreciate
Okay.
that. I will show that scene. I will use that link that you gave me and show that scene
Okay.
where I'm attacking this girl and I become attacker number 2.
Oh Jesus.
Hacker number 2.
Attacker
I mean,
Tell
we
him to
can,
get a shirt.
we can extend the show a bit, so
no, that's fine. Maybe later. I want to keep talking about Doug and
oh yeah, because Doug is the
exciting
guest.
Ryan.
Yeah.
He's our guest. So all right, so we got Zombie
Oh.
Rampage 2. We've got Bone Hill Road. You've been talking about that one as well, which also looks like a werewolf story.
Here's a fun story about that one.
Yeah,
So there's a part where the director caught his hair on fire because we was all upstairs in the bathroom. The part where I'm upstairs in the bathroom and I'm mutilating the girl in the bathtub was actually a pretty serious weather night. Okay, so we're up there. It's an intimate setting because, like I said, it's just this bathroom. It's not a movie set. It's a real bathroom, so it's very cramped in there. Todd's got candles set up, and we smell some burning. And what the hell is that? And it's his hair because he got too close to the candles because we're in such cramped spaces for him to get his shot.
Wow.
Now, while all this is going on, what we don't know outside is there's damn near a tornado going on. Things are being blown around outside. Everyone downstairs literally thinks that we're in a tornado. Upstairs, we couldn't hear a damn thing, or we were so focused on getting the shot and making this movie, we didn't know what was going on outside. So yeah, when you're watching Bone Hill Road and you see the scenes with me up there in the shower, in the bathroom with the girl, all hell is breaking loose.
Oh, wow. That's
cool.
very interesting now knowing since I've seen that movie.
So I was also one of the reasons, and maybe we could talk later, Doug. One of the reasons is I couldn't really find the full length films anywhere easily accessible or free. So maybe you can give me some links because I definitely want to check these out, especially now knowing some of the stories that was going on around you while this was happening. Very, very cool.
You can they're on YouTube available to rent, I believe.
I know Bonehill Wolf is on YouTube for free, but it's kind of like a bootleg version, and the full support is like, sorry.
I also think it's on Tubi.
Yeah,
and I think you can watch it for free on Amazon. I think it's up there.
Yeah.
Oh, great, awesome. That's always
yeah. I
exciting,
think
right?
most of our movies are on Tubi and Amazon.
That's awesome.
What other?
Oh,
it could be rented on YouTube too, I think.
How awesome!
Yeah.
How excited were you the first time you were like, "Oh my God, I'm in a movie that's on Amazon"? When Charlie Mantle went to Amazon, I was excited.
Well, it was Green Purple Neon, and I went batshit nuts promoting the hell out of that movie like I was one of the damn stars of the movie. And
wow.
in fact, I promoted the movie more than a lot of the stars. The only a couple of them, Lynn Fawn Harvey and Jack McCord. Those are the only two real people who were in the movie who was actually promoting it on the outside.
Right.
A lot of
oh no.
We lost you for a second.
What was the question?
We lost you for a second.
Okay.
Are you back?
Doug?
Oh, but we'll just have to wait. Doug, let us know when you're back. I don't know if you can hear us.
Dr. Connor's got him now.
Are you back?
Oh, there
are you back?
You're back. You are back. We see you.
Yeah. We thought Dr. Connor's got you. It's coming out of the body.
He is Dr. Carnage.
Well, then Dr. Carnage did get him, didn't he? Actually, then.
That would be an interesting concept for a movie. Like you'll act when you play all these scary monsters, and then the scary monsters just possess your body.
You become that.
Yeah.
Playing Dr. Carnage was amazing. I told Joe that, or I asked Joe, make me a monster, Joe. Please make me a rubber monster. Because have you seen his Halloween costumes?
Yeah, I've seen him on Facebook all the time. I'm like, whoa, this is fucking amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He is so fucking
The
amazing.
costumes that Joe has the chutzpah to walk down the streets in is just amazing. And I saw these costumes. I'm like, Joe, let me come out for Halloween sometime and make me a monster. And he's like, I'll make you a monster. Absolutely, Doug. Please come out. I'll make you a monster. I didn't know he was planning on making me freaking the monster, Dr. Carnage and Terror Tunes 4.
That's awesome.
So yeah, when he asked me to do that, I was just so shocked and amazed and so happy, and I got to play the rubber monster of rubber monsters, Dr. Carnage. So fun.
Totally. Actually, that was something I was going to ask you, because again, I think it's common to the genre to use practical special effects usually over the CGI effects. What's your experience with that?
Bone Hill Road was 100% practical special effects. Todd likes to use as much practical special effects as he can in movies. I think, yeah, Joe Castro does too on the set of Terror Tunes Force. I don't know what happened. No, I'm sure he's going to add a bunch of stuff, but there were so many practical monster effects that Joe was kicking out on that. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I love practical monster effects because I grew up in the 80s and going into the video stores and my grandmother, who I lived with, would just let me pick out any type of movie I wanted, and I always gravitated towards the horror section. So yeah, to now be in them, it's just, I don't know. What was the question again?
I was just asking about your experience with practical special effects versus, you know, I mean, not even versus, just your experience with them, because I'm a big fan. I do believe that, I mean, especially the independent genre, I feel like it's almost a part of, it's like a subgenre, you know, of independent, because I feel like that's what drives some people to make independent films is missing that, you know, missing the old school practical effects and being like, I want to do that. And that's what, you know, like you, probably like you when you were younger, the movies that you see, like you said, you love The Thing, you know what I mean? And
oh,
like,
my God, such a beautiful movie.
Probably a big part of it, right? Like, oh man, if I could make one of those, you know, like, you know, I don't know if you're an artist or a creative. I'm imagining you have some of that too as an actor, that you create some stuff, some crazy stuff as well. But that's all I meant. I'm
a big lover of the practical special effects, but sometimes your actor doesn't show up and you got to switch to digital and you got to blow his head up.
You got to blow his head up. That's right. That's great.
Okay, I do have a question. Like,
yes,
Doug, do you see yourself doing other films and horror movies, or do you just want to do horror movies for the rest of your life?
So we just got done filming a top secret comedy project for Amazon.
Oh,
so that'll be coming out who knows when. It's a post-editing stuff in Hollywood at this point, so it's in their hands. So
TV series.
but yeah, that is a comedy TV series. So it's
nice.
not just horror now. I'm actually into comedy too.
Oh,
and
nice.
Not to toot our own horns here, but we filmed a sex scene that I don't know if it's ever going to be seen, but it was the funniest sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Because have you ever seen Team America World Police?
Sure.
I've seen I've seen bits and pieces of that puppet movie. Yeah.
Do you remember the puppet sex scene?
Yes,
I made
remember the
sure.
puppet sex scene.
Very much so.
I made sure that we outdid the puppet sex scene of Team America World Police. So if you can imagine
Wow.
that,
I cannot imagine
I want to
that.
see it. I want
At
to see
this
how
point-
outrageous it is now.
That was
Oh my God.
fun. It was fun.
At this point, that was a different director, Skylar, who we work with here in Kansas City. At this point, I just wish he would take that clip and just put it on YouTube so I could show it to people because it is freaking hilarious.
Or you can just put it on the X-rated porn channels.
I'm pretty sure we'll get
I
on
think so.
Pornhub sooner or later.
Yeah.
That's so
We was in losing it at the Devil's Whorehouse, and yeah, things got a little bit naughty in that one.
Oh wow.
funny.
Do
That's
you ever
great.
feel comfortable doing sex scenes and stuff like that? Because some actors kind of feel icky, but then again, I'm like, it's fake, y'all. You can do
Yeah,
it.
it was just no, it's fake. It was completely it was nothing to it. I can't love nudity in films and not be willing to take part in it myself. So
Yeah.
There you go. Totally. You know what? It's funny. This just came to my head, but I can definitely see you doing the comedy genre. You know what I mean? I probably
Same.
might have even said that. I talk to a lot of comedians, so I might have even said that before I thought of the creepy guy genre. But the creepy guy genre, I could definitely see. But here's one for you that you may not even have thought of. And I think, if you put like a postman uniform on, you could be like Speedy Delivery. You could do kid shows. What was the guy,
Oh,
Mr.
like-
Rogers?
like
the
Pee Wee's
mailman.
Playhouse.
Yeah, I could totally
Mi-
see you
in
doing,
Mr. Rogers'
doing
Neighborhood.
the
Yeah.
kid genre, like being a character, like over the top, just like funny guy or something.
Yeah, I see it now. Oh
I
my
could definitely
God.
see it.
yeah, then they see then their parents watch Bone Hill Road and oh my God, is that the guy with our kids?
That's true. You may have put yourself in a specific hole there.
I mean,
But
the actor Paul Rubin did adult stuff too. So
True.
I
So,
don't think
so
I'm gonna be in any babysitting movies anytime soon.
so I
Oh,
don't know.
that
Is this
one
the
I'm
right? Is this the right
interested in.
poster? I was trying to
is that the alien one?
xenophobia.
Oh,
yeah, that's the
xenophobia.
alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we went out to California for the premiere of Clownado, Joe was like, "Hey, do you guys want to be in my movie?" And we're like, "Heck yeah, we want to be in your movie." So Joe set it up to where we could go to the premiere of Clownado and then afterwards go to his house and film ourselves in his Alien Invasion anthology movie.
Wow.
That was so fun.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you look
cool.
at that movie, and there's a certain scene that has a lot of the members from Clownado in it being burned by an alien light. Joe told me that our characters, that mine and Sheila's characters, didn't die in that movie. So hey, xenophobia too.
You never know.
Sequel.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
So,
Let's see what else we got. Oh, go ahead.
like-
You have a question?
Yeah. I was gonna ask about something with Terror Tunes, but are you excited for the 4th installment of Terror Tunes since you're playing Dr. Carnage and Joe Castro films? And how did you ended up working with Joe Castro?
Okay, so I met Joe during the premiere. Okay, Todd, back here in Kansas City, after Dreaming Purple Neon was filmed, Todd was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this big thing in California. We're gonna take a bunch of people out there, and we're gonna have a premiere, and we're gonna rent out a theater in California, and we're gonna have a premiere for Dreaming Purple Neon. You guys have been such big supporters of ours. Do you want to come with us?" And we was like, "Heck yeah, we want to come with you." So when we was out there, when we was out there for Dreaming Purple Neon, that was the first time we met Joe, right?
Yeah, we went to had dinner with him.
And when did we meet him for?
Whenever he did the werewolf transformation with David McMahon
Yeah,
for the Bone Hill Road.
When did that happen?
Uh,
See, this is why Sheila's in here.
this was approximately January of
What took us out there though? Anyway, okay, so
It's a
So our
mystery.
association with us going out to California is how we met Joe. Then we ended up going over to his house for a werewolf transformation, and that was the first time I got to see Joe work, and that was just amazing. Joe is just the happiest damn guy when he's out there working on his special effects. He's just zipping around. He can throw together a special effect and like that. He had the werewolf in like 20 minutes, the werewolf done.
Wow.
He just laid down some hair, he sprayed it on, and he's putting it on. It was freaking amazing watching him work. And
Wow.
Cool.
we just stayed friends after that. And like I said, I'm like, Joe, can you turn me into a monster man? And Joe's like, of course I can turn you into a monster man. But I didn't know that monster man that he was planning on turning me into was freaking Dr. Carnage.
Oh man, that's
That's
freaking wonderful.
So
That's
you-
bucket list stuff.
Yeah, you've been a fan of Dr. Carnage, and now you get to play him. That's amazing.
Dr. Carnage is he's on the box of Terror Tunes, and I've got the same story about Dr. Carnage that so many people had. Going through the video store, that box was always staring at you. Everyone saw that box. Everyone knows what Terror Tunes is. Even if they don't know what Terror Tunes is, they know what Terror Tunes is.
Right. They've seen that face, that smiling face. Yeah, no, totally. Awesome. All right, let's see. We've been at this for almost an hour, so I'm going to try to get through some more of these. You spoke a little bit about this. This was a lot of nudity, you said, and
yeah, that was our big sex scene. But I had a really fun death in that. Sheila was a demon, and she was on top of me, and she gives me a venereal disease from hell, you can say.
Jesus.
And oh, sorry about that. It was this really fun stop motion trick that Todd did on it, where it just crawls, this creeping green crap just crawls up me and just covers my face, and then it melts my face away, and he goes through the melting process.
wow.
So that was another super fun death.
That's some serious VD right there.
That was some serious VD. That's my lady. She does it right.
Woohoo.
That sounds really funny, actually.
Stay away from her, boys.
All right, so then what do we got next? Here we got Final
Final
Caller.
call.
So many good memories on that one.
So what's the story on this?
Okay, so that one I play radio DJ Roland Bennett having the worst day of his life. His wife comes in bringing him divorce papers, and
Oh wow.
he's got this crazy guy called the Outsider calling his radio show, and I'm trying not to give anything away.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to remove that. I meant to actually solo it to make it bigger. And
The fun is one of the most fun things about that is at the end of it, Todd had everyone he opened it up to anyone who wanted to leave a message for Roland Bennett. So like Linnea Quigley called up and left a message. And cool. Sheila left a message for Roland Bennett, and all of my friends basically in the industry called and left these weird messages. Either I love Roland Bennett or fuck Roland Bennett, he's a bastard. And I hate him. I'm glad he's dead. Or
did they use that in the movie?
What's that?
Did they use that stuff in the movie?
Yes.
Yes. At the end of the movie, everyone's calling in. Oh, I think I just gave away. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, don't give it away.
But
it's a call in. It's about a call in radio DJ who's having the worst day of his life. Let's just leave it that, right?
Yep, that sounds good.
There you go. Cool. All right, I've got one more slide here. And
Terror Tunes.
Terror Tunes.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Oh, Doug, you remember that time? Okay, it was on Twitter with some random person. They's like, I can't believe I saw like Not Safe for Work on of Dr. Carnage, and then I looked at it and I'm like, that's my alt, and that's tame.
I'm going to tell you what. This picture that you have now of Dr. Carnage, After Terror Tunes 4, you're gonna forget this look of Dr. Carnage.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
geez.
he's got a whole new look. You
Hold
can't
on.
give it away.
Can't get.
No. Joe just put a lot of work into making sure that Dr. Carnage and everyone was, excuse me. Gotta readjust. He put a lot of time and a lot of hard work into making sure that everyone looks just amazing in this and terrifying. And
Oh.
yeah, the aesthetic is different. It just looks a lot more terrifying than it ever has before.
Oh, geez.
All of it is. All of it.
Jesus.
Max Assassin, Dr. Carnage,
Nice.
the things he does.
When can we expect to see this?
Oh, I am not sure. Right now, they're doing it. Joe has it all in California. Steven Escobar is doing the editing on it, but he also doing the editing for Big Brother. So, props to Steven.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be long because I think they're just putting the polish on it at this point.
Cool, very cool. I'm looking forward to it. So I guess I do have another quick question because I know James Balsamo specifically in his films, he likes to pull in, kind of like these B celebrities or people, kind of obscure people to be in his movies, like Andy Dick. Give us some other people that you've worked with in the genre. Have you gotten any other bucket lists fulfilled?
Oh,
by
like
being in
any
the genre?
famous people you work with?
I'd love to work with James Gunn.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go. So if you're listening, James.
Yeah, right. Eileen Dietz from The Exorcist. Yeah. She was super fun to work with. So sweet. And she's in Joe's. No. My bad. She's in another movie. Craig's movie.
Okay.
Bygones. Next.
Well, because I know there are certain celebrities like Eric Roberts, for instance, who actually love working in the genre, and I mean, it's almost like you can make a list of these celebrities who's like, I'm making an indie horror film, and I'm going to ask this guy, and you're almost guaranteed they'll be interested if you got something halfway decent, something funny,
Eric Roberts was supposed to be in our Amazon series, but because of COVID and everything, he was supposed to be in there too. But because of COVID ended up messing everything up. I will tell you a funny story about Eric Roberts. You got to love that guy because he says he'll do any role that will take him someplace that he can take a vacation. And I love that mindset.
I love it. Me too.
We went to a horror convention and we met him, and he
poses people for pictures.
Yes, he poses people for pictures. It was so amazing. He was like, "Here, turn your head this way, smile. Here, okay, hold that pose, and click." And the reason he says he does it is because so often someone will take a selfie with them and it's just complete fucking garbage. And next thing he knows, it's because he'll be like looking to the side for a split second, and that's when they'll take the picture, and then it's posted all over social medias. So he has started posing people himself, and he's like a little director there with your cell phone. Okay, a little closer. Okay, smile. It's so brilliant. It's so fun.
And you know what? It helps the engagement of his fans who feel like, wow, I actually had an engagement and an exchange with him. Like wasn't just standing next to him with a picture. He actually directed the picture.
I've got this wonderful story that I'm telling you now about it.
It's great. I love it. Beautiful.
So yeah, it sticks with you. It's engagements like that really stick with you. You can tell that dude is just having the ball of his life, and that's God bless him for it.
And I feel like, I feel like that's the energy I get from you too. I think that was a good way to put it all together for me. I feel like you're having a ball, and it's great to meet you. And I can't tell you how glad I am you decided to come on our show and be our second guest and
Anytime.
go through your catalog and
I
give
feel
us
like Courtney still has more questions. So if you guys ever want to bring me on again,
well,
Yeah.
let's before we wrap it up, let's give her the opportunity.
yes.
This
Oh,
is
I
her
do
show.
got a couple questions about Tail Tunes, but that can go next time.
Ne-
You want to hear the Tail Tune questions?
Go ahead. I'll answer them if I can.
If you can, right? I was gonna say.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask about the new design, but then I'm like, I don't think you can expose that because that'd be a spoil and stuff like that. And Joe's like, no, don't.
Let's just say the new design is more horrific than you've seen before.
Cool.
Joe really was going for the horror aspect of this Terror Tunes, and it really shows in his work.
Oh wow, I'm pretty excited about this. Do you play Dr. Carnage, and like, does he have like his own sort of little storyline in the film or anything, or does he this old Dr. Carnage doing Dr. Carnage shit?
He's just Dr. Carnage doing Dr. Carnage shit. He's just
shit.
uh,
Yeah, if the viewers don't know, Tail Tunes is this old film from the early 2000s. Is about the devil. They made cartoons, and the cartoons come out of your TV and kills you. That's pretty much the whole concept of Tail Tunes. If you want to watch it, you can find it on YouTube. Well, I would say Amazon, but it's not there on Amazon. But I think it might be on iTunes. That's how I watched the third film, and that film was crazy.
I'm gonna have to watch it. So for everybody
yeah.
watching, if you want to watch it, it's available online to watch. All the first three.
Yeah, all the first three.
the Indiegogo for Terror.
Yeah.
The Indiegogo for Terror Tunes 4 is still active. So if you was wanting to get a box set with all 4 of the Terror Tunes in it, you could just go on Indiegogo and look up the Terror Tunes 4 campaign. And there's still a bunch of great perks that you can that's still active.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess I was like kind of suggesting people watch it so that they are ready for Terror Tunes 4.
Because
when it
I
comes out.
remember when I contacted Joe and then I contacted Doug and like, hey, look at my old fan art and stuff. And I was thinking,
I love your fan art.
and
I love it.
What really shocked me was Joe really liked the fan art of my OC with Dr. Carnage, and he's like, oh, I like this. I'm like, okay, we're about to have a Shape of Water with cartoons.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, last question. If you could go back in time to visit your kid self, what would you tell them?
Oh,
I tell them everything's going to be okay and it's going to turn out amazing. I tell them, forget what the doctors say, which is you're going to be crippled and in a wheelchair by the time you're 40, and that's not going to happen. And you're going to beat that, and it's all going to be okay.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I love that, Doug. I really do. Thank you so much for that. Wonderful advice in any situation.
Yeah, we gotta have them
Tell
back
your
on the
younger
show.
self, tell everybody's younger self.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell myself. I'd be like, go back in time and be like, hey, you're fucking weird. You're good. And just go back.
All right. So I've got, this is a little odd, but I got Steve. He sent me this link.
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
1:45. Let me see if I could share this. Share.
Oh, like, you're good. I don't have to be at work till like noon tomorrow.
I want to see it now.
Chrome tab. Mic's in scene. There it is. And share tab. Audio. Good. All right. And this one I'm gonna. Hold on a second. I just shared it and then unshared it. Share screen. Tab. Here we go. All right. Here we go. My feature film debut.
Let's see.
I think I gotta.
Wow.
You let her go, okay?
Get him, Circle Bill.
Just be cool and let her go, okay?
Ah, sailor number 1 got lucky.
Done a lot of fucked up things. But you know everything about it. Why don't we have them rape each other? What do you think? Oh, flip a coin. Man, this shit is the fucking dope. Are you serious? So you got two choices. You go to jail, or you rape each other and you apologize to the lady.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Fuck you, pig! Fuck that bitch too! Fuck you!
You see him go from like that?
Shoot him. Ah, suck it, sailor number 1. Suck it, sailor number 2.
Dang.
There you go.
wow.
Michael Zinn's
Yeah.
feature film movie.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you were really young back then. I'm like, holy shit, that's Michael.
Yeah, that was it was probably 10 years ago. Oh wait, hold
Wow.
on. What's going on here? The next video started playing.
Oh,
All
no.
right, well, awesome. We have filled up another wonderful hour, even over an hour, with strange and wonderful stuff. Doug, you are awesome to talk to. You have a new fan, and you know we'll definitely be talking
I
again.
did it. I converted another one.
We'll definitely be talking again. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put you backstage. Hold on a second while we sign off, and we'll be back after the sign off.
All right, sounds great.
Cool.
Bye, Doug.
Awesome. That was amazing. Oh, you're definitely doing a good job. Oh, now I have that thing back on my head.
Yeah.
You got your antlers, and I got my
Not the
my
pinwheel.
windmill. Steve Sage says we should make more movie guys. Thanks for sharing that,
Yes.
Steve.
I would love to make a movie. I know
That was by the way, that was Robert Finaro was Charlie
Sopranos.
Manson from
Oh
Sopranos.
wow, that's cool.
He was the main guy, and that was the film that Jackie the Joke Man was in as well.
Oh, cool.
So Steve Sage, I want to thank you for sticking with us the whole time. Thank you so much. And anybody else who's out there joining the Strange and Wonderful, this has been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to more of these. Courtney is bringing some really strange and wonderful people to the table.
Yes, I am.
Thank you, Courtney.
You're
And
welcome.
we'll be back next week. Do you have any words of wisdom for the audience?
If your mom, no, scratch that. So I was thinking something wisdom. Be true to yourself. Don't let anybody tell you that you're worthless, you're nothing, you're not. Fuck them.
There you go.
That's my
We'll
word
see you
wisdom.
guys next week on The Strange and Wonderful.
Bye.